I want every black person to watch this video on TikTok. As a black activist and as a black man who actually does the work, I want to tell you how I feel about this whole black men accountable stuff. Let me tell you how I feel about it. And we're going to have a long conversation about it. You see, that's very funny how these conversations always pop up, and it makes me realize sometimes activism with certain people is just useless. Because, you know, we had momentum with reparations, and then you let Brick Lady break that up. We had momentum amongst black Americans in terms of what we were labeling ourselves. And then you let a bunch of gender wars upset that when we had the Alabama brawl. You had solidarity there. You had black people fighting on behalf of a black man who threw up the freaking hat, the freaking bat signal. What happened to that freaking unity? Got broken up. Nottoway plantation fires, several other things happened, and then now whole black men accountable. Do you not know there's a freaking pattern here? See, this is why I say there's very little the CIA or FBI has to do to break you up. See, I'm a big fan of Godfrey. Godfrey said something very, very interesting. He said that when he met some Asian cats, he said, you know, that the one thing about the black community is very easy to break you up. One video can break you up. One video. Solidarity, but one video can break you up. See, as somebody who has MOS in the military, at least I was when I was in the military, required me to have a very high security clearance. Let's just say that. And let's just say that I've seen all this before in freaking Afghanistan. When they wanted to play the host nationals against each other, they would find an issue. If it was gender, if it was culture, religion, territory, food, resources, it didn't matter. They would use that to pit one side against each other. Okay? Now, with that being said, in this case, are you not noticing a pattern? They're using gender wars to break people up because it's easy. It's so doable. You not even remember Carly Russell? Do you understand the point of Carly Russell? The reason why the cops and the media boosted up that whole thing with Carly Russell? Because they knew it was bullshit. And that's going to be their justification for not looking for a black woman when she goes missing. Oh, she's another Carly Russell. I told you that. And what did so many people on black TikTok do? Oh my God, you don't care about this black woman. You don't care about her. I was saying, guys, the story sounds fishy and they're going to use this against you. Do you understand how this works? I used to work law enforcement. I know how this works. I'm telling you. I turned out to be right. And all the people who shouted me down didn't come back and said, you know what? My bad. You were right. My bad. But see, that's what always happens to people like me. I'll say something. I'll be absolutely correct. But nobody ever comes back and says, you know what, you were right. The whole time I was telling you, this Brick Lady thing, there's a lot of black women who are attacked, and sometimes by black men. But this case is not what you think it is. This is coming up at a very, very sus time. We had unity. We were pushing reparations pretty hard. Right around that time, I know I can look back at my damn my freaking analytics. That's the proof. We can't even debate that. I saw my analytics. I was getting millions of views a month talking about reparations and then Brick Lady. Come on now. Come on now. You don't think all this stuff is suspicious? You remember the whole pro-Palestinian stuff? You remember that? Remember that? You remember how people suddenly pop out and says, oh, black people, you don't support the Palestinians, even though that's always been bullshit? Knows how the person didn't call out the Hispanic community, Asian community, white community, just us. Why? Why just us? The person who was calling us out was a Palestinian, supposedly. Right? So you can't say, right? You can't say they didn't know about the existence of other people. You can't say that. I mean, if they were white, it would make a little bit more sense to just blame somebody other than white people. It'd make a little bit more sense. But to come out to the black community, the one community who supported the Palestinians, I mean, since before MLK, since before Malcolm X, who both spoke out in support of them, some of our greatest leaders have always supported Palestine. Even now. I mean, and there was this suggestion, you know, you had this person show up recently And there's a whole controversy about how we, as the black activists who showed up with her, made things about us because we were being insulted by some of the Palestinians. You know what's interesting about the whole thing, right? What's fascinating about that whole thing? When you look at the actual polls, the one group who supports Palestinians the most is us. I mean, outside of Muslims. So, what was that actually about? Think for a second. I mean, we do know that Israel trains our undercover police officers. They train police officers in general in America. A lot of people don't seem to realize that. So some of the same tactics that cops use here, like the whole honeypot thing, having people infiltrate movements, they do in Israel, and Israel taught it to us. That's how this works. So a lot of you who's sitting there talking all this smack, talking all this trash, I just want you to understand something. Whenever you do this, I want you to pause and just look at the timing and just think for a second. This might be a legitimate issue, but why now? Because the whole pro-Palestinian thing, that was not a legit issue. The whole bricklayer thing, Carly Russell, all the stuff that caused such division amongst the black community on the internet, those are all bullshit. But now they're hitting on something. Because here's the thing, right? While they're talking about black men need to be held accountable, we are the most exonerated group in America. I mean, for crimes, for any kind of crime. And yet, we still don't have an Epstein list. 40% of cops who are charged with preying on children don't even see jail time. We still don't have a Catholic priest list or a Boy Scout leader list, really. And yet, we are the most exonerated. It seems like we're getting locked up for things that we aren't even doing, but people who should be locked up aren't. You don't find this timing to be suspicious? Look at the camera. Look at whatever device you're watching this on. Look me in the eyes. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find it really, really suspicious right now that we're talking about holding black men accountable. Meanwhile, we're paying taxes towards funding Ukraine because of white on white crime. We got to hold black men accountable? So the problems of the world right now is because we haven't been holding black men accountable. Okay. Yeah, because it's black men that's over in Gaza. It's black men who almost had a nuclear conflict in India and Pakistan. It's black men. Just like with Bill Clinton, just like with Ronald Reagan, with so many other political movements, black men are always a scapegoat. Or, here's the most important part, or we're always a distraction, or the tool of diversion, infiltration. Whenever a movement gets too powerful, you have to do stuff like this. The CIA has used a vampire myth to take over a country. The CIA destabilized Haiti. The CIA just destabilized a good bit of the world. And now you think that paying some influencers or implanting some ideas at the right opportune moment to disrupt the social movement, a grassroots movement, a black power movement, you think that that's beyond them? If you do, I'd like for you to go read the history of, you may have heard of them. They're called the Black Panther Party. And that's all I got to say.